So this is February 7th. What period is it? 6th.
7.
Today we're doing lesson 12.5.1. We are writing terms recursively. Oh, my board isn't lined up. Alright, so up until now, as we've been studying sequences, we have been using explicit equations. Okay? Explicit equations are when we express the term in terms of the term number, n. Okay? And so that's what we've been doing. The new thing that we're going to do today is we are going to use recursive equations. And recursive equations relate each term to the previous term. Alright, so here's my first recursive equation. I want you to write that down and then I will demonstrate how you use that. Alright, so a sub n minus 1. Okay? We already know about a sub n. We've been using a sub n with our explicit equations. A sub n is the term we're on now, the nth term. A sub n minus 1 is the term that comes before the one I'm on now. So that's what that means. That whole thing, a sub n minus 1, is one variable. Okay? You're not doing any calculations in that thing. All you're doing is plugging in the term that comes before. So, in order to use a recursive equation, they have to give you a term to start with. So in this case, they gave us the first term is 3. Alright? We are being asked to write the first 5 terms. Alright? The first term is 3. It was given to me. Now, my recursive equation says that each new term is going to be got by taking the previous term and subtracting 7. That's what that says. So to get the second term, I'm going to take the first term and subtract 7. 3 minus 7 is negative 4. To get the third term, I'm going to take the second term and subtract 7. Negative 4 plus negative 7 is negative 11. It's the same thing. Subtracting is the same thing as adding a negative. That is, yeah, anyway. It's a habit, it's a good habit I would do to remind you of that. Anyway, the next is negative 11 minus 7. And then the previous term minus 7 again gives me the fifth term, negative 25. Alright, so for this equation, a sub n minus 1 is being multiplied by 0.5, so I'm taking half. 0.5 is half of the previous term. So something you might not have seen before, here they're giving me a sub 0, okay? You probably haven't seen this 0th term before, right? We're being asked to find the first 5 terms, and they're not giving us the first term, they're giving us the term that comes before the first term, the 0th term. So we're going to take my 162, I'm going to multiply it by 0.5, I get 81. 81 is the beginning, that's the first term. Yep. And so I'm going to take half of 81, which is 40.5, that's my second term. Then I'm going to take half of that, 20.25. 1, 2, 3, that's my third term. And 10.125, that's my fourth term. And 5.0625.
I ran out of room.
You're being recorded, you know.
Are we though? It's gonna get more views.
Alright, so, this is where I start to lose people. This one is a little bit harder because I've got an n in the problem. I'm adding n. And so that really has bothered some of my students as we've gone through the day. Because of that, because it's a little bit more difficult, I'm going to represent this with a table. I think it's going to help you visualize what I'm doing a little bit better. So in my table, I'm listing what my term number is, n, and I'm listing what the term is, a sub n. And I'm given the 0th term, which is 1. So that's the information I'm starting with. Now, the next term, we're going to call it the first term, the one that comes after 0, is the previous term plus n. Right? What's the previous term?
1.
What's n?
1.
1 plus 1 is
2.
2. Now I'm going to do the second term. Should I be 4? It is. It is. So we've got the previous term, which is, and n is 4. So then I'm going to do the third term. Good. The previous term, which is 4, plus n, which is 3, makes 7.
I'm not in 11.
No. And then the 4 plus 7 is 11. And then 5 plus 11 is 16.
That is much simpler.
I think that the reason that this was harder as I started today's lessons in period 1 was because I did all of that in my head and I didn't show that top line of the table. You don't have to show that top line of the table, okay? So, I only did that now because I thought it helped everybody visualize what I was doing. When you do your bookwork problems and your quiz problems, you can either show the table or not, depending on your comfort level. Alright, so this is going to be your you try problem. Alright, I'm going to pause the video. Alright, so each new term is the previous term multiplied by 2, subtract 1. So 4 times 2 is 8, subtract 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14, minus 1 is 13. 13 times 2 is 26, minus 1 is 25. 25 times 2 is 50, minus 1 is 49. Questions on that?
No, ma'am.
Quiz on this tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Just started.
3 bookwork problems for practice. Okay, do that now. If you have questions, let me know. Quiz tomorrow.